Hi everyone, Sam Rethmeyer here. This is the red wine video for the 2021 March Club shipment for the Wednesday Night Wine Club. Sounds redundant. Can I not say this? Hi everyone, Sam Rethmeyer here. All right everyone, let's get into the red wine. This is from a producer, Arnaud Lambert, one of my favorites in the Loire Valley. This is his Saumur Rouge, and this is a single vineyard called Clos to Loup. It is a monopole. And if everything that I just said there makes absolutely no sense, but it's the French, it's just what they do. So a lot going on here with the label. I want to start down at the bottom. Arnaud Lambert, this is the winemaker. If you jump up 2017, the vintage Saumur. Saumur is an appellation or a winemaking region in the Loire Valley. So getting specific there, but then we're going to get a little more specific jumping up to the top and Brézé. Brézé is a hill, a roughly 360-degree hill that stands alone. And so the wine is coming from the hill of Brézé in Saumur. But to then get even more specific, you have the Clos to Loup. This is a single vineyard that Arnaud Lambert owns exclusively, and he's the only one making fruit from there, which is why underneath it says monopole. Clos, by the way, means walled. So back when the vineyards were first planted, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, to delineate between this vineyard and that vineyard, you would build a stone wall around, which is where the Clos comes in. Comparative to wines made, let's say in California, where the variety is the most important thing, which is honestly how we tend to order wine in restaurants or pick out wine in a store. It's all about the variety. The French, on the other hand, don't care about the variety as much, because if you said, I want a Cabernet Franc, they're gonna go, okay, well, like you want something from the Loire Valley? Because if you want something from Chinon versus Saumur, or what about Right Bank Bordeaux, right? So they get into the minutiae of that variety. If you just said Cab Franc, that could mean a million different things. We just tend to view it the complete opposite way. The interesting thing about this wine is that because it is from a single vineyard, it is a little bit more nuanced. This is not what I would call classic Cabernet Franc, but really classic Cabernet Franc was because you take all these single vineyards and mix them all together. Arnaud Lambert is really trying, again, in that very French way, to pull out the nuance of this particular site. Cabernet Franc, or let's call it Cab Franc now. Who has the time to pronounce the entire name of the grape? But Cab Franc is characterized by having raspberry fruit on the nose, like lightning raspberry, and then pyrazines. Pyrazines is a chemical component that is found in jalapeno, green bell pepper, Sauvignon Blanc, Cabernet Franc, and Cabernet Sauvignon. That pyrazine is what I would call a bell pepper flavor. That if you took a bell pepper and just snapped it, that note you find in all of those items I just mentioned, the vegetables as well as the wine. It is pervasive in Cab Franc, and it's one of the reasons typically I hate Cab Franc. This, on the other hand, when you smell the nose, the fruit is explosive. And it's not just raspberry, you get cranberry as well. And then rather than green bell pepper, this to me just comes through as black pepper. But the wine smells juicy. I start salivating every time I put my nose in this wine. All right, whoa. Super energetic on the palate, right? Just nervy, kind of wakes you up. That cranberry note totally comes through. The acidity of biting into a cranberry, that punch definitely hits here. Raspberry's still there. And then, praise all things that are good and holy, but there's no notes of bell pepper. It is one of my favorite parts about Arnaud Lambert's wines. That does not get in the way of the wine, those pyrazines. I don't know what he does. I don't know what kind of voodoo dance, but he nails it every time. One of the things I love about Cab Franc is its versatility. If you think about a Cabernet Sauvignon, those wines are big, burly, powerful, right? They go really well with steak, but they'd be terrible with fish. But you notice the body of this, it isn't that big, powerful roundhouse kick to the face. This has a little bit more subtlety. So it works with steak, but it actually will also work really well with fish, especially grilled fish. And in fact, white grilled fish and Cab Franc can go together perfectly. And now you'll notice as I say that, suddenly there's a little bit of hint of a smokiness on the nose and even on the palate. I love Cab Franc for that. Now, if you like this wine, maybe you want something though a little bit more powerful, a little bit broader shouldered, try the Right Bank in Bordeaux. If you want to try other wines from the Loire Valley, check out Chinon. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't signed up already, sign up for the Wednesday Night Wine Club. Get more wines like this. Learn as you drink. What could be better than that? All right, cheers.